Well, hello, everybody.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Jimbo. We're coming to you live from the stand. I have a special guest with us tonight, um, Maria.
Hi,
Welcome, welcome to the stand. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So we had quite a drop in temperature here today from the last few days, so I've been enjoying the sunshine too much, I guess. So I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by seeing the name and putting two and two together. So we'll go ahead and say that you are Rap's ex,
Yes,
and you lived with him for 7 years.
that's right.
Okay. Kemper's getting off work. He should be with us before too long. Hey, Sammy. Thank you, buddy. We'll have a good stream. You have a good night, buddy. Um, I don't know if you can see the chat or not, but if not, I will relay messages. Smoky Mountain Mama said, "Hey, Jimbo, chat Maria." Um, but I know you've seen and commented on a couple of videos or a couple comments on one of the videos or however it works. Um, the story that that has come out with Smoky Mountain Mama and Rap.
Yeah. Um, I've seen and I've watched a few things, and of course I've spoken to Smoky Mountain Mama, and it is just heartbreaking what she had to go through, and it is not easy what she did, but I'm so glad that she found the strength to get out of that situation, and hopefully she can move forward without having this cloud over her.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we hope, and I think she will.
Mhm.
And it's good that maybe you two can talk and you know be there for each other and support each other since you're both um, have been in the path, so to speak. So um, after talking to you earlier today, um, and like I said earlier, if there's anything you don't want to talk about, just say I'd rather not, and we won't talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, but we discussed the reason why you left the comments. You know that's that's what I saw. That's something similar to that. Some that's the rap I know.
Yeah.
Um, and if you want to, just tell us a little bit about your history. Um, I know there's 7 years, but you know um, how it began or whatever, and just a little background
Yeah.
if you want to.
Of course. Yeah. Um, yeah. So 7 years. It's a long time ago, but um, I met Rap when I was 18. Um, Met him through a dating app, and he, looking back on it now, he moved extremely quickly. And being out of it for this long, I realized how horrible of a start it was for our relationship. He did a lot to manipulate me into moving out of my parents' home and moving in with him. It wasn't 2 months in until, and he was already pressuring me into moving together. And then shortly afterward, I became pregnant at 18, which, yes, I was an adult at that point, but it was a big shift. I didn't get to enjoy much of my early adulthood, and not saying that I regret, my child, but it moved really, really fast. Um,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing that my wife and I we've been married 30 years, but we didn't have any children until we'd been married 10 years. So we,
oh, wow.
you know, are thankful that and it wasn't because we didn't try. We just are thankful that God blessed us in that way that, you know, we feel like we're able to be stronger together because that, that we had, 10 years to get ready for real adulthood.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And that's awesome that you guys, 10 years in. And that's, I think, what most people would look forward to is, building that foundation for your children and for yourselves as a partnership, as a marriage. Um, and that's amazing that you could build that foundation for yourselves and your children.
well, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, I, yeah, so 18, um, it started off okay. I mean, I didn't realize how much work he put into manipulating situations. Um, and yeah, I mean, it just kind of snowballed into kind of worse and worse and worse for the entirety of the relationship.
Right. So you could see the I don't know, you said snowball. So the situation, like the manipulation, um, I don't know, how soon after you guys were together did he become and I'm putting air quotes up, stay at home dad?
um, it was very shortly after. He had been working a sales job, which, you know, for me, bringing a child into the world, he was bringing in pretty good money. So I was fine with it. I thought in my mind we would become a partnership, but shortly after our son was born,
I'm sorry.
it was, I want to say a few months in, I took my maternity leave and then I went back to work. And shortly after, he decided to just not do anything anymore. Um, he always promised that he would get back on his feet, he would do this, do that. But then he'd always find an excuse as to why he would not or could not work a stable job. And there's one specific reason that he always said. And in hindsight, now looking at it, it was horrible. The reason he he had has another child, one that I knew of early on, and I know that he probably spoke with
Carissa.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
um and he said that that's not my child. She's just pinning him on me. This, that, and the third. She's taking all my money and all of this stuff. So I was 18, 19 years old, and that's not an excuse, obviously, but I guess I just didn't know better. And
Well, you want to believe the one you're in love with.
yeah, and now realizing that most everything that he ever said to me was a lie, especially about Carissa, really just opened my eyes. And Carissa and I talk. We've become, I think, acquaintances at least.
Well, that's good.
um, yeah. And of course, now talking with Smoky Mountain Mama, I I realized that he was doing the same thing to her that he was doing to me. Just talking poorly about, the mother of his child, and it's sad to me. I mean, I know I was with him for 7 years, and I know his patterns. I know, you know, what he will say or what he will do to try to get away with things. But in the grand scheme of things, I didn't know anything about him. And it's shocking because after 7 years, you would think that you would know at least a bit about the person you were basically living with for that long. But to come out of it and know absolutely nothing about him and finding out everything afterward is completely shocking.
Yeah, and you start connecting dots and putting things together, and you're like, then oh man, like you said, hindsight. You want to look back, and you didn't see them then, but you see them now. And you and I talked specifically about, when you said those are things I saw, or those, I know exactly what she's coming from. I asked you about, you know, the the SA, and you said that didn't particularly happen, but you explained to me why. Um, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. And thank you, Smoky Mountain Mama. I appreciate your comment. Um, I, because SA is very tricky to talk about. Um, but I did tell you, Jimbo, that I don't, I, if he ever wanted to initiate sex and I didn't want it, I was too afraid to say no or say stop because I didn't know what he would do to me if I did say no or say stop. I didn't know if he would take it to another level of being physical because he had. So it was just scary to think if I said no, what else could he do? I mean, he would do it anyway, but also, would he do more to me?
Okay, now, and you said he was more physically abusive to you. She says he's not or wasn't physically abusive with her, but he was manipulative, and then eventually he did SA her. So, and you said the physical abuse even tapered off towards the end. Do you think he was evolving towards, and of course, this is speculation, but do you think that's what I think, that he was evolving from physical, hitting, hair pulling, um, striking, that sort of thing, into where he is now?
I wish I could say either way, but I'm honestly not sure. I mean, it was a solid 4 years of our relationship where he had been physically abusive. And then it kind of just, after I called the police on him in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
it was, I think he realized that I wasn't joking around anymore. I mean, not that I was ever joking around about that, but that I was going to take it more seriously. I think he kind of got the hint and stopped, kind of. And it just started becoming more emotionally abusive, mentally abusive. Um, so I'm not sure. I don't know how he thinks anymore,
Right.
but it's scary to think that he's somehow, going through every single type of abuse in the book and putting women in that situation to where they either have to defend themselves or just accept it.
Yeah. Well, you said he moved really fast with you from a dating app to wanting to move in, and he
Mm-hmm.
sort of he sort of moved in fast with her too. I think,
Mm-hmm.
like, she thought he was coming to visit, and he ended up living there. Um, I think, um, but when I asked you about the physical abuse, and I specifically asked you about the 2019 thing, because, and I owe you an apology for that, and I did earlier, but this is public. So, because I, you know, I white knighted for him, so to speak. Um, and, you know, he explained away the, what happened. When you, like, I didn't even tell you what he said, and then you explained what happened almost, well, in greater detail, but exactly what the police report said, which he dumbed it down. No, 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 it wasn't that at all. And I believed him. We believed him. So many people believed him. Um, but when I heard your version, um, it was hard to listen to. But if you feel like telling that, because I'll tell you what he said. He said that he you guys were arguing. I think he texted you at work. You guys were arguing over. He thought you were cheating, or you thought he was cheating, and he came home, or you came home and went to the room and slammed the door, and he went in there because he didn't want you to wake the kid up, and you
Yeah.
were you know locked up in the room, and so he started beating on the door with the book, and that you were yelling, and he was trying to stop you from waking up the kid at midnight, and put his hand over your mouth and pulled your hair and pulled you out of the room, which is bad.
Yeah.
But he made it like, wow, we were just fueling fire, fighting each other. Um, I was trying to keep her from waking my kid up. shouldn't even have been a police report and this, that, and the other. But um, like if you want to tell exactly what happened, and I can pull up the police report and I can show it, but and I will. But if you want to tell it, I think you know people would like to hear it from you if you feel like saying that.
Yeah, of course. And I didn't realize that he had said those things. I mean, he's very good at downplaying everything that involves him looking bad, so I can't be surprised. But I'd be more than happy to share what actually happened that night. Um, and I'll say it just the way I said it when I shared it with you, Jimbo. Um, I'd been working that night. Um, I got off around midnight ish. I got home and we had been arguing all day. He had been bombarding me with text messages all day. And we were arguing. So I got home, I opened the front door. Um, he was in a room by himself, playing on his computer, doing something. And I didn't want to deal with it. Our son was in his bedroom asleep. So I got home. I wanted to eat something. So I made myself, I think, a sandwich. And I put something on YouTube and I started watching and eating. Sorry.
You take your time. If you even need a break, we can take a break and play a funny video, play a song, or whatever you want to do. If you need a break,
Thank you. I think I'm okay. um, and he comes out of the room and he starts trying to initiate another argument. He starts saying, well, you're not going to say hi to me. He started accusing me of things and I ignored him. I didn't feel like getting into it. It was almost midnight, for the love of God, and I had just worked. So I ignored him and he got angry that I was ignoring him and he went back in the room, he closed the door and started banging things. I didn't know what he was doing. He was just banging things. And after so long of, you know, being physically abused, you kind of know the pattern of when it's going to happen again. So I went into my son's room. I tried to calm down. I thought to myself, he's not going to do anything to me if I'm sitting here or laying here. And I was trying to hide a little bit so he wouldn't find me. And he kept banging and banging. And then it stopped. And I got in the brief moment where he was banging and it stopped, I called 911. I thought maybe if I call them, they can come out and they can diffuse the situation because I didn't know how. And when it stopped, I was on the phone. I didn't realize the banging had stopped. And he comes into the bedroom with our son sleeping in his bed. He says, "What are you doing in here?" And I said, "Leave me alone. I'm on the phone." And he grabs me by my legs and he pulls me. And he pulls me out of the bedroom. And of course, that wakes up our son. And he grabs me by the hair and he pulls me into the bathroom. And he's telling, like, he grabs my phone in that time. And he's like, "Who are you on the phone with?" And I said, "I'm calling 911." And he hangs up. And he starts yelling at me because I've called 911. And somehow I get out of the bathroom and I run to the living room and I try to calm him down, and I say, hey, the police are coming. Can we just calm down and sit here for a minute and wait for them so we can open the door? And he, of course, was not accepting that. So he pulls me back into the bathroom, and he pulls my hair, and my head hits the toilet seat. And I don't know how much time passed, but I hear a knocking at the door. I said, the police are here. Let me go open the door. And he says no. So I start calling out for help because he won't let me leave the bathroom.
You need to take a minute.
I'm okay. And somehow I get out of the bathroom, and just like the report says, I said, help me. And all I can see is my little child in his bed sitting up. And of course I give my version of things. They take him out into the car and they take pictures, and yeah, that's what happened.
All right. The police report I put up there, you guys probably had time enough to read it. It's pretty much exactly as she says, and she told me that today without ever seeing that police report. Like, hadn't seen it. I did not ask you this earlier, but how many similar um, instances like that had happened without calling the police?
Embarrassingly, too many to count.
Oh, wow. So many you can't remember them all.
No, I think my brain has blocked out many of them. There's some that I vividly remember, and there's some that I think I can't bring myself to even think about them.
Now, clear this up because I meant to ask you, and you told me earlier, but I want people to know. Um, when you said he pulled you into the bathroom by your hair, you were on the ground, right? And he pulled you on the floor.
Yeah, because I was laying next to our son's bed, and he had dragged me from the room with,
Dragged you by the hair of the head from your son's bed to into the next room into the bathroom. That's terrible. I mean, this is this is who we took up for, y'all, myself included. Yeah, these are charges that have been talked about for a while that we dumbed down. I'm guilty of it. Um, and people want to know, well, why don't you file charges? Why don't you file charges? She did file charges. Um,
and he's so good at talking his way out of things. He's so good at minimizing situations that he's involved in. He's always the victim of everything that happens. And I will take responsibility for the things that I've done wrong in the relationship when I was in it. And even afterwards, if I'm doing something that's not right, then I take full responsibility. I take full accountability for not leaving sooner. But at the same time, he does it every single day. He comes onto YouTube and he lies. He sweet talks everyone. He tells people what they want to hear. He knows, and he said it to many people, he knows how to get himself out of situations. He knows how to say things that make him seem better than what he is.
He told Smoky Mountain Mama that very thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so living with it for 7 years, you're broken down at that point. You don't have the will to even fight at points, because what's the point? I mean, it's so difficult to really get out of that kind of situation. And to me, it's embarrassing that I stayed for that long.
Don't be embarrassed. I mean, I know you feel that way, and Smoky Mountain Mama used the same words. I'm embarrassed um, by things that happened, and it's not your fault. Um, that's the way predators and monsters make people feel. It's like it's their fault. It's absolutely not your fault.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when he did leave, finally, you said about a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, you said you had discovered that he and Smoky Mountain Mama were texting about a month prior to him leaving,
Yeah.
and that you guys had argued over it for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And you, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said when he left, he said he was going on vacation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I had discovered them texting, and I want to put this out there. I do not blame Smoky Mountain Mama for any of it. I do not hold any ill feelings towards her for any part of anything that happened. She and I talked, and I've told her it was never her. It was always about him and the way that he does things. But I discovered them texting. Um and we fought for a long time, and I continuously asked him to please just leave if he's going to leave, and let me live my life.
Hey, Dad.
And I around June of last year, he said he was going on vacation for his birthday. He lied to me and said that it was going to be this big YouTube thing, that they were going to all get together and uh, go to Tennessee. And I said, that's BS, because I knew she lived in Tennessee. So I kept asking him about it until finally he said, yeah, I'm going to go meet her. And when he did leave, he made it seem like it was a vacation. He would come back. So he never said anything to our son about, leaving. And then he called and said, well, can you have your sister watch our son, because I'm going to extend it out for a few more days. And then it was, I'm not coming back. So it was difficult to navigate that, because in his right, I mean, he had stayed home with our son. So, you know, that's what he helped out with, and, you know, that's what he would do. But to, just up and leave and not really communicate that, especially for our son's well-being, it was just a shitty way to leave.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And so he didn't communicate it with him either, right?
No, he never told our son, hey, I'm not coming back, but I'll come see you, or nothing like that. And I told you, Jimbo, I had to be the one to break that news. And it's hurtful to break your child's heart with something that's not your fault. And like I said, my son at that time was 6 years old, and he was able to communicate how he felt and all of that. So I did text Rap, and I told him that, you know, your son feels this way. Maybe you want to talk to him about it, because you left this all on me to talk to him about. And so he called. He said, are you sad? Are you this? Are you okay? And our son was just, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not sad. And afterwards, I asked our son, I was like, why didn't you just tell your dad? Why didn't you just say how you were feeling the way that you told me? And at 6 years old, he said, because I know he's not going to care.
To me, that's just, I can't.
And I think that's the worst part of it. I mean, for me, him leaving, I was fine with it. I was angry at first, but I was fine with it. But to do that to our son was the worst part. And of course, any conversation that Rap and I have about the situation, he tries to turn it around on me and saying that it's my fault. It's my fault he left that way. It's my fault that our son feels that way. It's my fault that it's never his fault. It's never his fault about anything. He can do no wrong in his own eyes.
That's that manipulation.
Yeah.
So you told me also that that he had well, you had communicated with him about possibly coming out there for some dates. Um, I think this summer or in the near future sometime, and he said he was too busy, but that you could send your old son out there or to Tennessee. And then, but what gets me is he's trying to sell this. He's trying to harm himself to thousands of people on YouTube. Smoky Mountain Mama. But he reached out to you and said, "Hey, what were those dates? I can probably do it now."
Yeah.
This is while he's holed up in supposedly in a hotel trying to commit suicide.
Yeah. And I did want to touch a little bit about his threats of, committing suicide. And I believe I spoke to Smoky Mountain Mama about this before, but that is his go-to whenever he doesn't get his way. He used that so much in the years that we were together. If he didn't have his way, if he didn't get what he wanted, if he was angry, he would just threaten it all the time.
Oh,
He
so
would
he was
Mhm.
a threatener of taking his own life.
Oh, yes, every single time. He would say that multiple times he would pretend to do something to himself. He'd lock himself into a room to where I couldn't see if he was okay. And this sounds extremely insensitive, and I'm so sorry if this ever sounds wrong. And I wouldn't say this to anyone under any circumstance, but by the time you've reached your 100th, I'm going to kill myself. I finally said, just go do it. I told him, go lock yourself into that bedroom and just do it. I will leave with my son, and if I come back and you're still not opening the door and you're still not answering, I will call the fire department. I will call 911 and they can remove you. Once I said that, he stopped completely threatening it because I was over his threats, and it stopped completely. And like I said, in no circumstances would I ever say that to somebody, because that is something extremely serious. But at the same time, he did it to me for years. It was years and years of him threatening it over and over and over again.
So that just it's, the manipulation. Yeah, April said it. He's a master manipulator.
Yeah.
And like you said, somebody asked earlier, and how old were you, or how old was he when you all got together? He's 3 years older than you, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So he was 21. Um, my goodness. Oh, Kemper's on panel with us now. Hello, Kemper.
What's up, man?
This is my co-host.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So he had absolutely no intention of harming himself. Like, and you'd heard it hundreds and hundreds of times. So you told him, go ahead and do it. And
Yeah.
so he still continues to do it. And he even, I think I told you this, went so far as to pretend to take a drink of antifreeze the other day on
Right.
a quick little manipulating live stream. He did it on his backup channel, so his real channel wouldn't get taken down for it. And then I think he deleted it. Is it gone, Kemper? Do you know?
He deleted his video. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's out there, but he deleted it for sure.
yeah.
What an asshole. I'm sorry.
Oh, he is. He is. Um, and I don't think, like I said, you don't hold any ill will towards Smoky Mountain Mama, and um, she's. I don't know if you saw where I pinned her comment earlier. She's absolutely feels terrible. Feels like she didn't want to be, would never want to be the reason that a home broke up. But and I know you don't hold her responsible. Like, he was lying to both of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
That was another thing. Like, you and I talked. Like, you fully believe that if he had another place to go with another female who was willing to foot the bill and go to work while he did not, that he would be gone and with no problem.
yeah. And I 100% believe that if he found someone else to go into their home and just exist, that's where he would be right now. And it's sad to think that he will not be responsible for anything that he has done to anyone. And not me. I don't care. But our child, like, he owes it to our child to be a father. He owes it to the children that he does have to be a father. And it's sad to think that he will just move from one place to another without so much as even thinking about what being an adult is. It's so sad.
I don't think he's reached the maturity of an adult or manhood at all yet.
No,
Um,
not
I,
at
I
all.
don't think he ever will. I think
I
he's going to end up in prison.
I think that would be one of the safest places to have him, so that he will not do what he has done to me and to Smoky Mountain Mama and to God knows who else, because who knows what other women he has enticed or whatnot.
And I was talking to you earlier about the grandmother, and you told me something that blew me away. Um, there's actually 4 little rappers that we know about now.
Yes. He A while back ago, I spoke with
Carissa.
Carissa. Um, she had sent me a message asking me for his phone number, and I said, "Yeah, here you go." She said, "Thank you, because someone is trying to get in touch with him so that he can, they can remove his name off a birth certificate." And I said, "What?" That's that's news to me. I never knew. Um, and I have the messages here. Um, so there's another child. I won't say their names or anything.
Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that.
Um, but apparently he had cheated on Carissa and got a girl pregnant. And then, I'm sorry, there was another incident in 2012 where he got a girl pregnant, but she had an abortion. So I guess it's not 4, it's 3. I'm sorry, I blanked out on that one.
So there was one that was absolutely aborted then.
Yes. Um, she said that there's someone else that swore the she got pregnant by him, but I don't think that there was ever any concrete proof that it was his child.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot that she told me. And then I, of course, was very shocked to hear all of that because I never knew. And so I sent a message to his stepmother, and she confirmed that she knew about the other ones, the other children, but that she only knew that the one that was right after Carissa's was actually his.
Okay. Um, do you know whether or not he has a relationship or a close relationship with his stepmom or mom? Now,
With
who
his
has the
stepmom,
children? Is it his stepmom or the mom?
well, his mom, I'm not sure if that's who, you know. So his stepmom and I and his dad, we talk regularly.
Okay, that's
Um,
who. That's the one that we're calling his mother. Then I think.
okay. If okay. Yeah, cuz his stepmother and his dad, they do not have a good relationship with him. It was very strained by what I heard, but um of course Rap lied about what that relationship was, because it was he told me that they never contacted to see about our son. They didn't care about our son. It was never anything, they didn't care, you know. Come to find out, after he and I broke up, his stepmother sends me a message and says that they always wanted to know about our son, and that they would send messages, but they would never get answers. So eventually they stopped trying. And she told me that Rap told his stepmom that if they wanted anything to do with our child, that they would have to stop associating with his first child, with Carissa.
That's what Rap said.
Yes.
Wonder why he just didn't want. It makes That's exactly what he told Smoky Mountain Mama too. She said, being that. Wonder what in the world would make him want to keep his family away from his children. Is there some, I don't know, something he's hiding that he don't want nobody to know, or he doesn't want everybody to figure out that he's been lying to everybody? I don't understand this guy. Probably never will.
No.
Because we're definitely not on the same level.
No. Not at all. Not at all. I'm sure it had something to do with the other children he has. He may not have wanted that to come out, but honestly, I have no idea what his reasoning would be to keep his grandparents, my son's grandparents, away from him.
Yeah, that's mind blowing. So they do get to see your son now, though, right?
Yes, they do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I told you earlier, I think he's probably heading back that way. I'm not sure what we can do, what I can do from Kentucky, but you know, we've got long-reaching arms all over the United States and in other countries too. So if you need any help with anything, if something does arise, I know you know now you can call 911 and get help.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think he's really afraid of tacking anything else on his criminal record.
Yeah.
So my heart's broke for you and your son, Smoky Mountain Mama, and her children. I mean, they're not his, but they, you know, he was there for a year, and while he wasn't with your child, he was, you know, building a relationship there. So those kids are, you know, like, where's he at? So
yeah,
she had to tell them she had to put him in timeout. You know.
yeah. And that's the saddest part, is that he's leaving a trail of children, and he's breaking all of their hearts, and they don't deserve that. And I wish so badly that he would just get it together and just man up and be a father, and stop worrying about himself for once, and start worrying about being a father to the children he has. But I don't know that that's ever going to happen, honestly.
I doubt it. I don't, you know, this may be, you know, none of my business. You can say so if you want to. Does he pay child support?
He does not. He claims that I don't need it, that what he sends as far as like clothing, because he sent clothing and groceries a few times, but he said that should be enough.
Well, that's not for him to decide.
Right.
See if that's enough for him to get by.
Right. Goodness
That's
gracious. Yeah. I don't even know if you know that. He wanted Smoky Mountain Mama to have her IUD removed so they could have a baby together.
Really?
Hmm.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He wants to lock down the women that will be of service to him. It's not about him wanting a child with that person because obviously he's had 4 already and he doesn't care for them. And it's sad to say that. It's mind-blowing that he will not care for these children, but he's still wanting another one with another woman just to lock her down. And oh, goodness. I'm so sorry, Smoky Mountain Mama. That is, oh gosh,
I've got a
ridiculous.
feeling you two are going to talk more and more and more, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the bright side of everything is that her children and my son are friends. She and I, you know, will have conversations and we can talk about these things. And also I know that Carissa and we also talk, and we're all in, we all know and are connected because of him. And that's one thing that I do appreciate is that I've found these wonderful women to bond with.
yeah. Well, he does have good taste in women because you all are strong, and you all, like you said, you can be there for each other, and you've met each other, and I just think blows my mind. Um, I just think his taste in women is going to lead him to eventually get himself hurt real bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Chasing Justice said so. There's no parenting plan in place because he did refer to that several times when asked. Because he was
Rap did.
trolled. He was trolled about your son from people, and he would always say, "We're co-parenting. We have a co-parenting place, co-parenting plan in place, and all this." So,
Hmm.
is there
No,
a co-parenting place or co-parenting plan in place?
no, we had never, we did not agree on anything. And partly it was because, and I've spoken to Spunky Mountain Mama about this, I knew that their relationship wasn't going to last. I knew from the bottom of my heart that if I sent my son out to Tennessee, she would find it more difficult to do what she needed to do because my son was there. So I knew Smoky Mountain Mama would not, you know, say, your child's here, but you need to leave with him. I knew she would never do that. But in the event that it had to happen at that moment, I could not send my son with any kind of peace of mind knowing that. So I told him that he needed to step up and he needed to come here to us to visit with our son and build trust that way, so that in the future, if he did want to take him to Tennessee and he was showing me that he was more stable, then I would be more comfortable. But one conversation we had in February, he said, "Yes, I need to step up. I will do that." And then just recently, when I asked him about a few dates in the summer, he said, "No, I'm busy. I don't know why you can't just send him my way, let him come to me in Tennessee." So I told him that I wasn't going to discuss Summers over there until the courts got involved. And I know he does not want to go to the court system. I know he does not want to, but I'm going to take it upon myself to file something for myself to protect my son and myself and my rights as his mother, because this has gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
And to answer that question, so him crying, saying he can't even call his son because he's so heartbroken, it's a lie. My son has his phone on him, and he knows the phone number that he can call so that he can reach our son, and it's a bunch of BS. If he doesn't call our son, it breaks my son's heart. If he doesn't answer my son's phone calls, it breaks my son's heart. And I'm the one who has to help navigate that. I have to help deal with those emotions for my son. So he's bullshitting.
Yeah. Yeah. You're there to pick up the pieces of a broken heart.
Yes.
Yep.
You got a lot of backing here. Um, I'm not just talking about me. I mean, the chat's full of people who will back you fully, and Smoky Mountain Mama as well. They'll back her and you. And I mean, I don't know how many women are going to come out now, but I mean, pretty much it seems like he went from Carissa almost straight into a full time live in relationship with you, right into a full time live in relationship with Smoky Mountain Mama. And I think he's became dependent on somebody taking care of him.
Yep.
And so I'm not so sure where he goes next. I guess it was his stepmom said he can't come here on that phone call.
Yeah.
Said we have kids here. He can't come here. I don't know what that was about. Do you have any idea what that was about?
Well, his stepmom and his dad, I've spoken to them about this situation, and they don't know him. So they said we can't let someone we don't know into our home. And especially because you know, Rap's siblings on their side, they all are around and they all have children, and they all, bring these children to their home to spend the night, to do things with. I know Carissa allows her son to go up there and spend time with them. And I know that his stepmom and his dad are trying to build the relationship up with myself and my son.
Okay.
um
My mama said
to
it was actually his mother on the call.
his mother.
Yeah, that was his
Okay.
real mom.
Okay. Well, and I'm not sure about his real mom. I haven't really had any sort of communication with her
So your
about
son
any of
doesn't go
this.
there?
I'm sorry.
Your son doesn't go there?
No.
So there is three other children then, because she's got three of his kids, she said.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I was assuming one of them was yours.
Oh no. No, not mine.
I thought she
Mine
might be
stays
talking
in
about on the
Maine.
weekends, because she said she has one every other weekend, and I guess the other two pretty much all the time. I don't know, but maybe babysitting or something. I didn't know. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have not spoken to his mom in many, 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 many years. Really.
wow. When he was there with you, did he speak to his mom?
Um, Hardly any. No, he hardly ever called her or even his dad. So I don't know really how much truth there is to this, because he lied about everything, but he would always say that he didn't have a relationship with either one. But then some days he would say, "Oh, I spoke to my mom and I've been speaking to her regularly." But then he'd say, like, "No, F that," and whatever. So it's really hard to decipher what was true.
Yeah, I agree with Justice Jane. Matthew needs a vasectomy.
Yes, he does.
Jimbo
Yeah.
or Marie, have you heard the phone call with the dove and his mother? Is there a
No,
way to play that for her?
If somebody would give me the timestamp, because the phone call that the dove sends are their links and they expire. I didn't save it.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't really kept up with anything as far as Matthew, unless it had to deal with our son. I know nothing about any of this.
Well, somebody's at the door. I heard a little voice.
Sorry.
It's all right. My teenagers and almost 20-year-old have been in here since we've been started, so they never stop. From 2 years old to 30, they never stop, I don't think.
They always need us.
You see Smokey's comment?
He said the same to me.
Yep.
He said the same to me. There has to be something with his parents that we don't know. Yeah. I'm sure there is.
I think more specifically with his mom, his real mom, because his stepmom and I, we've had conversations about, their relationship, and I'm sure that if there was something off, she would say, but then again, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he probably will, Blue Moon. That's probably what he's going to do, is look for somebody with a good job and place of their own so he can move in and hop back on the streets of YouTube and do what he does. I mean, he messed it up. He hit a gold mine here on YouTube. People were throwing him money hand over fist like he was larger than life. Like, when I found out how tiny he was, I was like, it's like the Wizard of Oz. You pull back the curtain and damn wizard is tiny. That's the guy. But yeah, I mean, but now it's messed him up. Oh, I might have the call here. Hang on a second. Do you want to hear the call with the mom?
Yes, please.
Hello? Yes, ma'am. Who am I speaking with? This is... Who am I speaking with? I was returning someone's phone call. Were you looking for Miss Lane? For what? For Allison? Yes. Okay. Yes, and my name is Miss Advocate, and I'm calling on her behalf. Okay. Did you have something, a reason why you were trying to reach her? Well, I was just checking on my son. I'm worried about him. So. Okay. Have you not spoken to him recently? Because I did speak to him yesterday, and he seemed a little distraught. So I thought I would call her because I've always had a good relationship with her, just to make sure of his well-being. Oh, okay. Because now I'm under the impression, and I do know you have been trying to call her quite a bit over the weekend. Is that correct? Yeah, I think I've tried to call her 3 or 4 times to make sure he's okay. Okay, and have you spoken to him not over the weekend at all? I did speak to him once, but I kind of wanted her input because she's a little more put together.
Okay, and what has he told you at all then?
That he doesn't have a home and he's living in the U-Haul. And that's basically it. So I tried to call her just to say, hey, what can I do to help?
Okay, well, I'm calling, like I said, on her behalf because he apparently, I don't know if he's giving you the whole story or not, but she has severed all ties with him. And I don't know if he has told you that, but
he did say that. He said that she brought like 6 bags to the hotel, and
she did. She did. That was the final, because in February he attempted his suicide thing again. She got all kinds of help for him.
I know. She's been very helpful. That's why I reached out to her. I have nothing against her at all.
Okay.
At all. I was just trying to get help for my son.
Right. Well, that, to be quite honest, that part has come to an end. That's kind of like why myself are in the picture to help her to move on. She's not accepting phone calls from him or anyone. She's moving on. He started acting up, so to speak, about a week ago, and then started the suicide attempt again, but this time with drinking antifreeze.
He doesn't. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
He doesn't tell me these things. That's why I called her.
Well, she again.
She's great with me.
Well,
I understand.
And like I said, I understand. Well, I'm speaking on her behalf because, I'm in the middle of all this too, and rightfully so. But like I said, she's moving on. She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. She wants nothing to do with it anymore. So that's why I'm.
So I will not contact her. I just thought I could ask her what's really going on.
Well, that is really what's going on. He has attempted suicide, so to speak, but really, it's not really suicide. He's sending pictures of antifreeze bottles, calling people saying he's drinking it. And of course, do you realize that she lost her husband to suicide?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's a very tender spot for her. And he has sworn left and right that he would never, ever, ever do that to her again. Because, of course, it upsets her very much.
I can totally see that. And I have been a big fan of hers. I was just trying to check on my son. I thought she'd give me answers.
Well, he was supposed to be, just so you'll know, he was supposed to be staying in the hotel that he's in. He said up until Tuesday, and then he was coming to see you. So that's the story. That's the only story she knows. So he checked in on.
I can't rely on my house. I have kids. I'm worried about him. I'm worried sick of them all.
Oh, I understand, but I'm just telling you that is the story he's told many. And was, as of noon today, he was supposed to be flying out to come stay with you. So.
Well, he told me yesterday that he was in a U-Haul. He was going to try to make it to the border. But I said, Dylan, I'll pay for a hotel. But I can't have him around my kids. I'm very worried about him.
Well, and to be quite honest with you, he's got money. This I know from Allison, because he's never paid for anything the whole time she's been there. So I don't, like I said, I'm a voice for her. If you want to spend your money, that's your son. You're more than, you have the right to. But
please just tell Allison I did not mean to bother her. I was just worried about Dylan. And I knew she'd be straight with me, but I won't contact her anymore.
Just to be quite honest with you, the real reason why she threw him out, and this is very sensitive, but I think you need to know. You said you've got kids in the house.
I do.
He raped her. Against her will.
Okay.
And
all right. Well, I appreciate you being honest. I just want answers, as a mom.
Sure.
And that's the only reason why I tried to contact her, because she's always been real and straight with me. And I have nothing but respect for her, so please tell her that.
I certainly will. But I wanted to let you know, because we do not believe, and we've sent out cries and pleas to him that he needs to leave the state of Tennessee. But we do not believe that he is or he will. But he needs to leave, or he's going to end up with charges pressed against him for this.
Right. Okay.
She's trying to work through this situation, and she's not one that would press charges or anything, but she's highly encouraged to.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your honesty, and just tell her that I appreciate everything she's done for him, and I've tried my whole life.
I understand that.
I don't know what else to do, but I wasn't harassing her. I was just trying to figure out if he's okay, because I haven't heard from him.
No. Well, if you've spoken to him, then I guarantee you he's probably still in Tennessee, not far from her house. And he's not a little boy. It's time he grows up.
No, he is almost 30.
Right.
3 kids that he left me with in this town with 3 different moms. And so I'm dealing with that.
I see. Well, I do feel sorry for you.
Well, he has 2 here, then 1 in Wichita. And he just left.
Well, he has been encouraged. I know, people have mentioned that he has one for sure and possibly another. Those are the only ones anybody knows of, but people have tried to encourage him to go back to his children, and he he acts like you're not even saying anything.
I know, it's been difficult. He has a 11-year-old that comes over and sees me every other weekend that he had in high school. Then I have really good relationships with his mom. He has another one that we found out about who is 10. And then he has Sebastian, which also has 3.
Okay.
And I'm left here in this small town to deal with that.
Oh my
goodness. And you can document this. I mean, I was just worried about him because I'm worried he's going to do something.
Sure. I from what I understand, I personally don't think he will. But like I said, Allison, was too good to be true for him, because she did provide everything. And
she did. And she's been nothing but respectful and nice to me. So that's why I called her.
Right.
You try to get some answers.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're trying to get her, she's got some people behind her, and we're trying to get her on the straight track forward, and not to look back. And that's what she needs, especially for her kids, because
she does, absolutely. She has she has a Madeline. I have a daughter named Madeline.
Yeah.
We talked about this, so please just tell her, since I can't talk to her, that I appreciate what she's done, and I'll do what I can to try to help him.
I certainly will.
And that's pretty much all I can do at this point. My hands are tied.
All right. I certainly will.
All right.
Thank you. You take care. God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, she doesn't want him there. So so you don't speak to her that much, or that's not the one you talk to?
No, I haven't spoken to her in a long time. I mean, there was a period of time where I did send her a message asking about, you know, about Matthew,
Right.
because I needed to know for my son. But
Right.
it was never been like conversations or anything like that. Um, I do know that she has two young children
Of her own.
um, of her own that live with her. So that's probably the children she was speaking about in her home.
Right.
And of course, I believe the man she's married to also has younger children.
Okay.
So that's probably the children she's speaking about.
Yeah.
And
She didn't want him there because she said she had kids in the house. So
yeah.
that really has opened eyes. Like people want to know why don't his mom want him there if they're because there's kids in the house. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I seen somebody in chat ask, or say that he has a court date next week or something.
Oh yeah, in Missouri,
Was-
Pine Bluff or something. You know anything about that?
I'm not sure
Or
what that
Poplar
would
Bluff?
be. Might be about child support for Carissa.
Yeah, might be.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Of course, I don't think she's. Hate to speculate. She's not here, but I don't think she had him on the hook for any child support either. So the one thing the Dove said was that Smoky Mountain Mama took care of everything. You pretty much did too, right?
Yes, I was the only one who worked pretty much the entire time we were together. So it was me doing everything financially, and of course everything else that came with, living life. So like laundry, grocery shopping, all of that was me.
That is tough. Like, I mean, most families have two income anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
for two adults and a child only have one income. That must have been hard on you.
Yeah, it was
Golly.
it was difficult. It was like taking care of another child.
So
But
he never helped at all around the house or anything?
he would do a few things here and there, like wash the dishes, but he would complain while doing it and saying, "Why don't you do this? Like, why aren't you getting up?" So I mean, even if he did pick up something or clean something, it was never like doing it because he was there and he needed to do it. It was always like, "Oh, see, I do all of this. You're lazy. You're always on your phone. You're always laying down. You're always sitting down." Mind you, I had to work at one point I had to work over 60 hours to even maintain the home. So for me, it was just, if I'm gone 60 hours of the day, then you can clean and not complain about it for
Right.
for one. For two, he would complain that I had to work 60 hours a week. And it was just a never winning game with him.
You would think somebody'd be grateful that somebody was taking care of them and at least clean the house and take care of those things.
And not bitch about it.
Yep.
Smoky Mountain Mama said yes, all capital letters.
Man, what shit.
Doesn't seem like he's going to change any.
Nope.
Nope.
Unfortunately. Hopefully, and I'm really hopefully like he doesn't father any more children.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I can't imagine even his mom, like the way she said it, like she has to deal with, him having three. that are known. Like it's so difficult because I mean, he doesn't do anything for them. So it's up to everyone else to pick up the slack for him being absent.
So once he was, I don't know, like so he was he a babysitter? Did he take off all the time? Like, did he do?
Did he have lots of friends? Did he hang out? Did he not?
Guys.
You know,
He never really had friends. He, at the beginning, it was like 2015, 2016, where he had like 3 friends that would come around from time to time. And it was difficult with him and his friendships because he always had to be right. So they would argue a lot, and they would bring those arguments into my home where I had a newborn. So
Right.
it was really difficult. And then once they kind of stopped talking, he never ever gotten any new friends. He was always at the house. He would babysit, and I would say babysit because it wasn't being a parent, because a parent would do more than what he did. But he was there, you know, he would take care of the basic needs of our son, and I would have to go out and work so that we had income.
I've seen some people asking for a picture, a recent picture. There you go.
Yep, that's him.
yeah. I was going to say, somebody in chat said, I think it was McKenna, said that the court date is for child support and it's been delayed or something. Yeah.
Okay. And officially, I looked at the police report. He's 5'6".
He is.
And he does wear a size 8 shoe.
So he says. I'm playing.
It may have grown some since he left. I don't know. He wears big socks to put in those shoes and fill them out.
Right.
He would double sock. I do remember that.
He does double sock?
He would double sock.
Hell, he might be a size 7 then. Who knows?
He's earning it. Yes, thank you for that, McKenna. Appreciate that.
Texted me the court info we can put in chat. Okay, thank you. Let's see if I can. Might be able to get it up on there. Let's see. Oh, okay. It was in chat. And sorry, guys, I missed a whole lot of chat. I've been focusing on Miss Maria, and so I got to know why the YouTube name Victoria Rosa.
Well, it's really because when he started the whole YouTube thing, I didn't want to be, easily found. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't really know how any of that would work. So I kind of just changed it up so that it wasn't too obvious who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, you was able to go around, with that name and nobody knew who you were. I didn't know who you were until you posted. I think first you posted something on maybe Benny's video or comment of my video, and then I saw you twice in our video comments yesterday, and I was like, oh man, I want to reach out. So
yeah,
I'm glad I did, because I'm glad you got to tell this. And like I said, I don't know how many more people there are, because I think he's went basically from one right after the other moving in.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully with at least you two, and And I do believe Carissa was holding back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she had some kind of fear too. But with YouTube coming forward, I don't think he's going to be able to use this platform much, if at all, to succor any more people, um, especially single mothers who can provide for him.
Right. I hope not. I hope that people start getting an understanding of who he actually is and what he portrays in his videos, and the personality that he is on those videos is not really who he is behind closed doors. And I know at the early points of when he had left and I was really angry, I did comment a lot, trying to get people to, see me and see that he's not who he's portraying in these videos. It's scary how easy he can flip the switch of being that personality and then just being horrible behind the scenes. And I hope people really see that and understand that who you're looking at or who you're seeing or who you're hearing is not the person that he is. He is a very scary individual. Yes, he's 5'6" and scrawny, but he knows what to say and what to do to get people to do what he wants them to do.
Oh, we've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen that. I mean, guy could be off YouTube for 2 weeks and go live and talk on a bullhorn for a second and have people throwing money at him left and right,
Mm-hmm.
paying, donating memberships and super chatting him. Just unbelievable. It really was.
Yeah.
Um, so I said, his voice is, it's made for radio or something. It ain't made for YouTube no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be. I'm not going to let him back on YouTube. I'll harass him, uh, as long as I can.
Right.
Maybe I'll get run off YouTube, but I'll damn sure make sure he ain't around here as long as I'm here.
Right. And I did want to just say, me coming on here is never to speak ill about the father of my child. The reason I came here to speak is because I want people to know who they are donating to. I want people to know that he may try this with someone else, and no woman deserves to go through what Smoky Mountain Mama went through or what I went through. And he has done it to one too many times for this to be an accident or a mess up that he did. It's too much, and he needs to not do this again to anyone else.
Yeah, it's serial. It's he's got a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been asked, but when was the last time you and your son heard from him?
I heard from him. When was it? It was Wednesday. He sent me a message saying that he wanted to have a phone call with me. I would not do that because at that time I was finding out everything that he had done to Smoky Mountain Mama, and I was not able to put that aside and have any sort of conversation with him about our son. But he was saying that he could probably make the dates that I requested him to come by and be with our son. He could probably make those dates, and it frightens me that he says that after knowing what's going on and what's happened, because I don't know if he's going to come here and try to leverage himself back into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I'm just nervous about at this point.
Yeah. Well, you have the power now. I mean, he knows, and stay strong. I mean, if you don't want him in there in your life, don't let him. I'm not telling you what to do, but um,
Yeah.
and it's a different, it's a different story for your son. I know that, and I know I can tell that you're not the type that would say, you can never see your son, but stay strong.
Thank you. I will.
You're welcome. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you work. And tomorrow is Monday. So anytime you want to come back on and just hang out and chat with people, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome here, and I'm sure the people would love to chat with you.
Absolutely.
Thank
you. And you can hang out in chat too. Come back and jump in there and chat it up with the people. They know who Victoria Rosa is now.
Perfect. I really appreciate you allowing me the time on your platform to say what I needed to. I really appreciate the support, and I really hope and I pray that we can just move on, and hopefully he can get his stuff together and just be a father.
Yeah. That'd be the best move he could make. Focus on his children and grow up.
Yeah.
Sherry said, Maria, can I send you anything, honey? Do you have a Venmo or a Cash App?
Oh, that is so sweet. And I appreciate the thought, but I don't want anyone, to do that for me. I appreciate it so much. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm doing what I need to do to, move forward. And
I'm almost glad you said that, so they didn't say, well, Jimbo told her she's going to get loaded down with money if she came on here.
No, absolutely not. I do not expect anyone to ever dip into their pockets. For me, I work, I get my things done. It's on me to move forward from this, and I appreciate the thought, and I appreciate it, but I can't do that to anyone.
I just want to thank you for doing this. Hopefully you said something that's going to open some eyes to people that they're in doubt about Rap's character and everything. I'm hoping you said something that's going to wake them up and let them see what the real person is.
Yeah.
Behind his little mask.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope. And, if there's any time where, you have more questions, or there's anything that you kind of want to know a little bit more about, I'm here. I'm open to talking. I think it's good for me to say these things now, because for so long I've been holding on to all of this, and if I can help just one person, even if it's not because of rap, and it's something completely different in their life and their situation, if this helps anyone at all through anything, I will be here, and it does get better. You can leave. You can make it out stronger than before. These people should not hold you down, and you should not feel inferior because of what they're saying to you. I hope and I pray that anyone who's in the situation that I was in, or that Smoky Mountain Mama was in, I hope that they can just persevere and make it to the other side, because it's so much better on the other side.
Beautifully put. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great night. I am going to go to bed now, though.
All right. Well, thank you. And let us know if we can ever do anything, or if you want to come back and hang out.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Good night, Maria.
Good night.
Chat.
They got you. How's that? All right, Kemper.
I was going to say chat needs to really show some love to Maria and Smoky Mountain Mama, because they have, it takes a lot of courage to do what both of them have done this past week. It does. And I'm just in awe that both of them have come forward with this. I really am, because I know how hard it is as a survivor to talk about it, to come forward, even talk one-on-one with somebody. So you guys show them some love.
Thank you all for showing up too. It's really important for as many people, and I want this restreamed and restreamed and restreamed. I'm not going to strike you for it. Play it. Let's get the word out. We're not going to let this monster keep hurting people. Not on my watch. Nope. Not on our watch. Not on YouTube's watch. Let's take the power away from that little twerp. Spread the word. And listen, there's a million more like him. There's a million more like him. Keep your guard up. Don't let people sucker you out of your money, out of your love. You know, make them earn it. Make people earn your love and respect. I was tricked.
A lot of us were.
Yeah. So I got a few things to say tomorrow night. I'm not going to add it to this stream. I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen a whole lot of ugly today. A whole lot of it. And I'm not going to stand for it. So we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Rip, I've got like 3 pictures of rap on a community post on my channel if people need it.
Yeah, go share it. Everybody share it.
I know Queen Ashley and quite a few other channels have them as well. So most channels in this community is going to have his pictures posted somewhere on the community post or a video or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, people need to be aware. And I think, like I said, I think people are waking up. A lot of us were duped. We were, myself included. Yeah. But that doesn't mean everybody else has to be. We can do something about that, guys.
China Doll, your membership may have expired, honey. You know, if you don't just lose them. But anyway, let's see. My heart hurts so bad for all that rabbits hurt, especially the little ones. I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I had to take myself off camera when she talked about, you know, I just can't do that. So Tuesday, I've got to get up really early for a colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Tomorrow I'll be doing that nasty prep stuff. So I may have to leave the stream a few times, you know, but we will go on a little early tomorrow. Probably Kimber's off, right? You're off?
Oh, yeah. I'm off tomorrow.
So we'll probably go pretty early tomorrow. Maybe as early as 8:30, somewhere in there. So we'll let you know. We'll talk about it and see you guys tomorrow night. Then. Till then, I'm Jimbo.
And I'm Kemper.
We're coming to you live from the stand. Well, hello, everybody.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, Oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit and I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you was just a fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty.